Yep, another week in the SEC, as we all know. Uh, Really good opponent, Mississippi State. Jeff, I know well, and good guy, and done a great job with their program. The energy, enthusiasm coming out of that programs, you can see it in the way their kids play. They got no quit in them. These guys have competed. They have been in every game they've played. They have upgraded the talent level since he's been there. You look at the group he's put together defensively, offensively, and special teams. They got really good players all over the field. Our guys are going to be up for a great challenge this week. We're going to their place, and when you play on the road in the SEC, trust me, I played a lot of years and coached a lot of games at this place. It's a tough place to play. They have a great fan base, and Jeff and his staff have done an incredible job. So we're looking to start getting ready for these guys.
Yeah, Jordan Hall, Chris Cole, DeMello Jones all with the game on Saturday with injuries. Do you have any update on how they're doing at this point in time?
Yeah, Jordan will be out for some time. Not sure how long, but he'll be out for some time. Chris Cole, we have a chance to get back this week. We think he's going to be able to play and be able to go. He might be a little limited today, but he'll be able to practice tomorrow. DeMello, surprisingly, is better than we originally thought. He's got some soreness in the elbow, but he may be able to play. So we're excited. That news wasn't as significant as we thought, but Jordan is a tough one because that kid's been through a lot injury-wise. He fought to get back last year towards the end of the year, and he wasn't even 100% healthy then, and then he had a good offseason and was really leading and competing and playing well for us, and just a tough injury for him to sustain, and we'll see what the timeline is once we know more later today and tomorrow.
Yeah, Coach, obviously, Blake Chafin, their quarterback, was the guy that Coach Levy took out of Baylor when he first got there. Gets hurt last year. What have you seen from Chafin now that he's fully in the system and had several games underneath the belt?
He's a good fit. He's got great arm talent, great vision, quick release, which is critical in their offense. He can spin it. He understands, their system, and he knows where to go with the ball, the decisions he makes in terms of running, throwing, box counts. I mean, he's very experienced at it. Talented player, and he's got great legs. And they've got another quarterback that is a really good player as well.
Coach, what have been your impressions on Anthony Evans since leaving here, and also Brian Thompson, another transfer receiver for him?
Yeah, Anthony's played awesome. It was great. The last 24 hours, I'd seen highlights throughout the year, watching Anthony play really well, just in games and passing and things that overlapped. But then yesterday, you get to sit and watch 4 or 5 games in a row. He's really played well, explosive, fast, vertical threat, quick game threat, blocking well. He's always been a good returner. He's, everything that we thought he was. He's a really good football player that has grown, gotten better, and as you grow up and get better, you improve. And he's done that, and he's playing at a really high level. And obviously, Brian Thompson's a force to be reckoned with. This guy's the fastest guy I've seen on tape probably in multiple years. I can't remember the last time I saw somebody this explosively fast and dynamic as this guy is. So the package of those two guys together is really, really good.
Mississippi State have been close a few times this season, and then finally Saturday they get their first conference win since I think October 2023. What can that do for that team as far as confidence going in this game? The fact that they broke through last week, getting ready for this one.
Well, number one, it shows hard work pays off. They've continued to work hard. They've stayed true to themselves. I mean, they like just watch tape. They've been in every game. They've had several games they should have won. They could have won. They didn't, and obviously it didn't slow them down because, even Arkansas, every game they've been in, they score tons of points. They're a hard team to beat. So, a lot of respect for the coaching staff and their team. Shows you what kind of competitive character they got, that they have sustained that in every game, regardless of the outcome of the games.
Coach Levy's background, obviously with Josh Heupel, I think they threw for over 300 on you last year. Is the system that similar to Tennessee, or what kind of twist does Coach Levy put on that offensive attack?
Yeah, it's the same but different.
Yeah, we'll get to talk to Noah Thomas in a little bit. I know we asked about him the other night too, but what have his biggest areas of growth been, both on the field and just acclimating to the Georgia program since he got on campus?
I think early on it was the system in terms of spring practice, but he's grown physically. I think Coley's done a really good job using his skill set and making sure that he understands development at the next level becomes more than just being a receiver with the ball in your hands. Whether that's what you do without it in terms of blocking, or what you do in special teams, how you're an asset to your teammates, and he's been incredible at all those things. I mean, he has wanted to start on our special teams units all along, and he really has. In punt return until last week, we took him off because of the number of snaps he was having to play. But he's been one of our best leaders in terms of enthusiasm and energy on the field.
Kirby, to your left, what have you seen that stands out when taking a look at the Mississippi State defense, a secondary that leads your conference in interceptions?
Yeah, they get after it. They're very disruptive. They confuse you with different packages. They have some different looks they use. They've got some long length. I mean, I hadn't seen this kind of length in a long time at corner and safety in terms of length allows you to tip balls, knock balls down, intercept balls. They are very lengthy and can get balls down and create havoc through what they do. But they've done a really good job this year creating those turnovers. I mean, they're plus in the margin, and anytime you're plus in the margin in our league, that's winning because it's a really competitive league in terms of turnovers.
Kirby, obviously, Zach Branch has made a big impact. With the transfer group as a whole, I imagine some you thought would be difference makers, maybe some provide depth. How do you determine a hit rate as an organization, when you bring in all these guys?
I don't know that we determine a hit rate. I mean, I look at these as, kids, human beings, student athletes. I mean, I think that our sell to them was come be part of our family and our culture and grow and enjoy in the success that you might have, but enjoy the success of others. And they've all hit on that. And it's a big part of what I believe to be the culture when you go into the portal is you have to have people that are shaped the right way mentally and strong enough that hopefully contribute to your team both on the field and in the locker room.
Coach, I know obviously Chauncey has been dealing with that calf injury for a few weeks. Is that something you still have to be careful with a little bit as far as his usage in games?
No, Chauncey's healthy. I mean, he's done a great job when he's had the opportunity. His number's been called. That injury was significant, whatever game it was. I forget what it was, Auburn maybe, or you remember when it was. But outside of that, he's been pretty healthy and done everything we've asked and continues to improve.
Yeah, Coach, you alluded to Kamario Taylor a little bit earlier. Just talk about the young freshman quarterback. I think you guys recruited him a good bit out of high school. What does he provide, and how do you prepare for someone like that, and do you have anybody to maybe simulate that?
No, I mean, you don't have anybody simulate that. I mean, he's big, talented, athletic. They use a package of him with Blake in the game at the same time, which creates its own issues. And then they use him in situations, and they used him some with, they've had backs out, and they've used him not necessarily as a back, but he is an addition to the run game that throws the ball really well. So he's a very bright talent, and he's a good football player. So I don't know that you can simulate it. You do the best job you can, and then you prepare.
Yeah, Josh Brooks put out a long statement on Friday, putting down any notion that he might be interested in the LSU job. How important has he been to the Georgia football program as this program's athletic director?
Well, look, Josh does an incredible job for us as a football program, but his benefit goes way beyond football. He's an athletic administrator that cares about this place. He wants to be great in all athletics. He cares about all the sports. It's not just football. I mean, yeah, every AD wants football to be successful because that funds your athletic department, and he makes no qualms about that. We need to be successful in the major revenue sports, but his job is to support every athletic endeavor we have here at UGA, and he does that every year. He has an incredible staff. Doris saw today, and the people that he has on his staff have done a tremendous job, and I think Josh knows that the support you get here from administration, team effort, it's a team concept that he wants to be part of that, and I'm glad he does.
Coach, what was your thoughts of Zion Branch coming in the second half after KJ was ejected? What will be his role going forward? Having an opportunity to play a little bit on Saturday.
Well, I don't know. I think that depends on this week of practice and every week of practice, right? KJ right now is our starter. KJ's a good football player, and we're trying to get better play as a whole out of our entire team. And that starts with front, linebackers, secondary, receivers, O-line, all of them. So we're going to go out to practice today and try to continue to get better. I was very pleased with Zion stepping up. We put a lot of pressure on him every day in practice to go out there and execute. He doesn't take the same number of reps as KJ, but he takes a lot of reps. And so there's days that he goes out there and works really hard, and all that hard work he put in paid off to allow him to go out there and play and help us be successful.
Coach, obviously with Jordan now, the guys will step up. I did want to ask you about Nnamdi Bogo, that I'm not killing his name too bad there. But how did he look the other day for you, and just how good could this young man be?
Nnamdi did a good job. I mean, he plays. He's going to probably play a little bit more of a role now. He continues to get better. I spent a lot of time with Nnamdi down on the scout D when I run the scout defense, and he is a guy that is similar to Christian was his sophomore year. Christian Miller went down there with us. Jordan went down there with us. We've had a laundry list of guys who've gone down there and what we say go against the best of our O-line, and a lot of times their growth explodes. They get better faster than the guys that maybe aren't doing that. And I've seen that with Nnamdi. He's gotten better and better and better at striking blocks. Big emphasis for him from a conditioning level standpoint. He takes a lot of pride in getting that right, so he can be on the field for more snaps. But he was a big boost the other night because he's very good at block recognition. He understands leverage, and he strikes and gets off blocks.
Yeah, Kirby, with the amount of close games y'all have played, especially since the start of SEC play, do you feel the comfort level of this team growing in close games as y'all play more of them, or do you feel like those are situations this team has kind of taken to ever since the beginning of the season?
I don't ever feel uncomfortable in a game based on the score. I'm uncomfortable in how we play sometimes, but it's not about the fourth quarter, the first quarter, the halftime, it's not about the score, because we really don't make it about that. If you want to dominate someone, you don't look and check and see what the score is halfway through. The objective is to dominate them, and there's no scoreboard when you start talking about dominating somebody. You look at the end of the day and see if you did, and we haven't done that very often in terms of dominating the way we want to, but we'll continue to try to.
Coach, I got a feeling I know where you're going to go with this, but on the schedule, you look at a game like this, and everybody built up Texas preseason. Everybody says, "Oh, trap game on the road." I want to ask about getting ready for a noon game and also cowbells. I mean, you've obviously been there a lot. Will there be cowbell noise, and is there something drastically different about getting ready for a noon game on the road versus maybe a 3:30 or a night game?
Yeah, the noise is noise. It's hard to play in the SEC on the road. I have not been to an SEC venue that it was not hard to play to on the road, play into on the road. It's just hard. That's not going to change with them. They've got a really vertical stadium. I think the noise gets trapped in their stadium. It's one of the loudest places that I've coached, and I've coached there a lot. And they got a lot of pride in how they play and how their team plays and the support of their team. So, I mean, as far as the early kickoff, that's more unique to me than the stadium. We go to the road games, it's road games, and it's hard. The uniqueness is a change in time, time zone a little bit, because you're changing time zones and then what time the kick is. But unless they don't have to show up until earlier or later, it's the same for both. And it's how you manage it. So we approach it differently and take a lot of ideas from other people on the best way to manage it. But sometimes make a bigger deal out of it than it is. Just got to go play.
Coach, over here, I think this is year number 52 for Charles Winslet, who I know is, big proponent of Georgia high school football, as are you. Just what has he meant to the state, and just what has he meant to you as a person?
Yeah, Charles Winslet's a great man. He is. I don't think there's a coach in the state of Georgia that doesn't have a story about Charles Winslet or a classic story. He's a very, very interesting man. So he has done it for a long time. He's done it successfully at a lot of places. He's very bright. He's a Georgia grad, played baseball here, and he was a good friend of my father, who everybody knows passed away, and I always appreciated their relationship as a young kid in South Georgia. Winslet was coaching there, and they used to trade film and trade stories. So for me, I go way back with Winslet.
Kirby, you guys are 7-1 with making stops at games with games in the balance, but lacking enforcing turnovers and getting sacks. What do you make of that for your defense, that it's not necessarily holding you back?
We've been that way before. You know, we have never been a sack machine. If you look at it statistically, we've never been a turnover machine. We have been better defensively than we are right now, but a lot of that has to do with the culture of the league, what we're playing in, the parity. I'll take the strengths we have, work with them, try to work on the weaknesses, and worry about the process and not the results. That's what we're worried about right now.
We'll have a chance to talk to Joseph in a little bit. What have been your impressions of his play this year, and especially going back to how he came back from injury last year and just what he's been able to do in his second year?
Yeah, he's really been beat up this year. He's been dealing with several injuries this year, and I think he's pushed through really hard. I'm excited that he gets to speak with you guys because he's such a high character, high caring individual who has such a great story. You know, his mom is one of the sweetest, nicest ladies I've ever met, who basically has brought her children to this country and raised her children here, and she has worked her way to success, and now he's working his way to success, and he's one of the toughest kids we got. He pushes through injuries. I thought he had one of the big plays in the game the other night. He was a main part of the 4th and 1 stop in terms of his effort and his get off, and we need him to keep improving. He has, you know, we're not used to having to lean on true sophomores, but he's a guy that has some natural pass rush ability and natural ability that we need to capitalize on.
Top, one more question?
Yeah, we saw Lennon Rolden get in for you guys, a wide receiver. How is he developing, and how might he be able to help you guys this week?
Yeah, I'll be honest with you, all those young wideouts continue to grow. I thought he and C.J. Wiley both had really good off-week practices in build-up to Florida. Talon's, you know, coming back from his injury, getting better and running now. Tyler Williams is doing a great job. All of those guys, Blackshear. I mean, when you look across the board, that's a good class that they continue to work. I'm excited today to get to see those guys continue to work, and I'm trying to challenge them that, you know, next man up. Somebody's got to be ready, and you don't get ready when the injury happens. You get ready while you're prepping for it, and they've done a good job doing that.
Thank you, Coach.